It feels great to me because I've always needed a lot of creative outlet. And even though Lepers has been such an active band, we also have super quiet periods. And I always wanted to try something different with different people. You know, I've played in Lepers since I was 16 and just been going on with that band forever. And I love playing with the guys. We're still having a great vibe, creative vibe, and get along great. But still, it's nice to just get a little different input sometimes. So that's when I decided to just try something in the quiet periods of Lepers to be working with other people. I remember coming home from a tour, had a super busy schedule, and then just looking at my schedule for the next few months, and it was just empty. And that feeling for me was just like, I need to find something to fill my quiet time with because I don't do well in the quiet periods. I was just thinking, and then I came up with the idea, okay, let's just do like a solo record where I collaborate with lots of different people, no pressure, something different and leprous. I feel I've had only like good vibes from the bandmates because they know and they see that I'm still very dedicated to Lepers. We just did a 40 show tour in Europe and we've been touring constantly, we've been working constantly. We haven't had any break ever with Lepers since the band started. So I don't think they're too worried about that, is my impression. Yes, I do feel that because I was not confident at all writing lyrics in the first years when I did that because I felt that I had to come up with something really clever and smart. And I'm a composer, I'm a musician, I'm not a writer primarily. Like the music is what inspired me. I didn't want to become an author, you know. But then I came to realize that if I just write something that is true and that I've truly felt and still maybe feel, then people so much more often can relate to that and can see themselves in my lyrics. And sometimes they can interpret the lyrics in their own way and they can think that I've written about something that feels very familiar to them when maybe sometimes it's about something else, you know. But still, I feel the more honesty we've had in the lyrics and the more kind of straightforward, the better feedback we've had. I think it's maybe the melodies and the melancholy that we've always had in our music. I don't think genres is a very good way of defining music, honestly, because they say nothing about the emotions in the music. It just says a lot about like, okay, what sort of sound do you have on the drums? What is it? There a wall of guitars, or it doesn't really tell anything about the actual mood of the song. You know, like a metal song can be happy, usually isn't, but it can be, or a pop song can be really dark and depressive. You know, so I think it's the melancholy, the sort of drama that we have in Leprous, and also melodies, hooks. I always loved hooks. It wasn't really. I was going to release it before, and then COVID came. We were going to have a quiet period between some tours with Lepers, and I was going to focus on writing music. And I started with that in March 2020 after getting home from tour. And we all know what happened March 2020. So we needed to change all our plans basically to do something else. So a lot of the songs on my solo record are older than a lot of the songs on Aphelion. For example, A Nighttime Disguise, I think it's newer than all of the songs from my solo record. So it was something that was in the plans for a long time for me because I felt that I wanted to do something else, as I mentioned before, and to work with different people. So I think I came up with the idea first time the fall 2018, and I started working on it right after the Pitfalls Tour 2019. I don't really love playing piano anymore because I don't know, I feel a bit awkward that I haven't developed for the last 15 years. So for me, I love to compose on the piano. I love to make music and use it more as a composition tool and something to back up my vocals with. I don't feel that I'm a proper piano player. To become a really, really good musician, I think you have to focus hard on an instrument for many, many years. And I started with that in the early years with the piano and keys, but then I just became a lot more interested in vocals and also in composition. So that's kind of where my focus is at the moment. There isn't really short answer to that question. It's years and years and years of life experiences and just doing what I do and gradually just trusting in myself, basically not trying too hard to be something or someone, but just doing what comes most natural to me. But that, of course, comes after years and years of practicing techniques and being inspired by other people. You cannot just skip straight to the getting your own character thing and getting a good technique. You can skip straight to character without good technique. A lot of cool singers have done that too. I don't think a person like Kurt Cobain, for example, were very uh, vocally trained, just like doing his thing, and it sounds cool. It sounds cool for him. But if you want to have like technique and character, you need to focus on one before the other. You cannot force originality. If you're original, time will tell. I love to collaborate with the people that I collaborated with on this record, but I haven't really thought about that at this stage. It's not how my brain works that I think, oh, I really dream of collaborating with this specific person or that specific person. It's just like, first, I'm making a project. And after the project is made, then I think of, who should I collaborate with here? And that's how it works. I'm not starting with the person, I'm just starting with the project and then seeing what sort of person would be cool to have on that sort of project. So I cannot give a good answer to that right now, but I wouldn't mind getting a sit down with Quincy Jones and hearing how he's working and to have done something together with him. But of course, he's not very active these days, I'm guessing. So something that I'm not going to experience, but just it's a person that I look up to very much. It's a combination of many things. I will start with like the mental part of it, and that's you need to just go on stage with really low shoulders, no expectations, and just go there and see what happens. And don't try to push like the typical vocalist thing is to either be too frightened and hold back, or to be too enthusiastic and just like and they're both sort of stressful for the voice. So, and the best thing is just be calm, trusting in yourself. So that's the mental part of it, the very, very short version. Then there is the physical part. It's of course to get a good technique, which is basically using a lot of diaphragm and low shoulders, not stretching, just being relaxed, basically. It's an oversimplification, of course, but that's the short version. Then for me, what I've experienced is that I need to prepare for a couple of weeks before a tour to gain stamina, vocal stamina. So I would typically sing the full set with full power every second day for a couple of weeks before the tour. And when I start the tour, then my voice can already take a beating and I can already handle it. You can compare it to going to the gym for the first time and then expecting to go straight to a competition after that. It doesn't work like that. You need to build before that. You need to have strength in your voice before you go on tour. And then the last thing is to don't overdo it. So when you go on stage, aim for 80. Don't aim for 100. Because sometimes 80 even sounds better because it doesn't sound like you're trying too hard to be great. When you just go for the 80, the full show with 80, it's much better to have than to have 2 songs with 100 and then 12 songs with 40, you know. So yeah, that's the short version. A lot of different ones. I really, really love Michael Jackson as a singer because I don't understand how he did what he did. He's just like the whole person was just music. His timing, his groove, everything there was very impressive to me. Then there is, of course, the obvious ones like Freddie Mercury and lots of great singers out there.